Hello everyone, my name is Dick Link the Train. And welcome back to Genesis. It's fucking almost 4 in the morning, but I can't stop. I can't stop it. Oh my god. The school bell finally rings, marking the end of the last day of midterms. Reactions are mixed inside the classroom, with many students groaning or cursing as they failed to finish their tests. Others are jubilant to finally be done with this hellish week. After all, the last thing a student body wants to deal with is a full week of tests right after a full week of having fun with a festival. If I could meet whoever it was that made up this scheduling, I'd have some very strong choice words for them too. After having graduated so they couldn't take it out of my grades, of course.
Very well, students. Everyone pass their papers along. Don't even try to keep writing. If you so much as touch the paper with your pen after the bell rings, I will give you a 0.
Shima-sensei goes around collecting everyone's papers. While everyone else has scowls or frowns, just plain looks defeated, the stag alone is the picture of health and peace. Probably because it wasn't he that just had to spend a whole week studying nonstop and stressing over tests. Do I sound bitter? I feel bitter.
Now I want you all to remember, just because your tests are over doesn't mean you can slack off. You still have the entire school year ahead of you, even if there's a few months before midterms start again.
How many midterms do you have? Midterms, middle of the year, and then after that would be finals, wouldn't it? I don't fucking know. I doubt anyone is even listening at this point. Most of everyone is just nodding along with everything he says to do it the most soulless eyes possible.
I sincerely hope you've all done well in your tests. The result will be posted next Friday, and club activities can resume again next week. You're all excused for today.
Oh, thank God he's fucking gone. Oh, God. He walks out of the room, carrying all of our exams with him. As soon as he leaves, the class lets out a collective sigh of relief. Finally over. Eunice slumped over his desk, exhausted. The poor guy has barely had any breaks since this week started. He'd come over to my place right after the exams were over, and we'd study nonstop until 10 or 11 p.m. depending on the day. Well, it leaves him time to get home, eat, and sleep. It's gonna be miserable existence for anyone, especially if they're not used to this sort of thing. Hanging in there, right? If I die, tell my mother I love her. If you can crack jokes, then I guess that means you're fine. I want to do something fun. I'm fun-starved. I need to relax. Huh. Here I thought you'd just go straight home and flop onto your bed, not waking up until tomorrow. No way. I need to relax. Yes, I heard you the first time. You don't need to emphasize it. Do you have any plans for the day Rutherford's-on? No, not a one. Well, how about we do something together? We could invite the others too. Others TWO. I'm sure they'd welcome a break as well. Yeah, I'm still a bit worried about Shuichi. He hasn't talked to me at all since Monday, and he looked pretty stressed out then. Oh, right. I forgot about that. But hey, tests are over now. I'm sure we'll have more time to hang out. Yeah, you're probably right. I'll send them all a message. Oh, did you buy a new phone already? Yeah, I couldn't go too long with that one. Mom chewed me out for breaking mine, though. Forced me to get one worse than my previous one as a lesson. Oh. It's alright. I didn't even use my phone much. It's not like it makes that much of a difference for me. Also, there, message sent. Well, how about we go out to eat? I'm hungry. Have you been eating after getting home? Sometimes. Define sometimes. I had dinner on Monday. The other days I was too sleepy, so I just went to bed. You've been going without dinner for a week? Don't just laugh at that. I'm serious, June. You need to take care of yourself. I'll be fine. Just a little tired is all. I just need a break. I sigh, quickly typing an invite to shoot to the others while I try my best to look annoyed so I can drive my point home. Come on, Rutherford-san, don't be mad at me. Then eat properly. Preferably now. I'll treat you. What? You don't have to treat me. I'm fine paying for myself. No, I'll treat you and that's that. Especially because I feel a little guilty over this. I've been cooking dinner for me and Aki after June had already left for home. Probably should just taken a dinner break and offered to let him eat with us. I thought for sure he'd be eating the food he had at home when he got there, so I didn't even think of that. And I messaged everyone to come on. I asked them to meet us by the gates. Okay. A few minutes later, now the exam week is over, the amount of students lingering around at the end of school day is much bigger. Now that they have the room to breathe and catch up without fearing for their grades, they're taking the opportunity to be social again. Just like we are. Or would be, except... Damn, I just got an answer from Keisuke. He's going to be busy with band practice. Sai and Shuichipo just said they couldn't come and didn't speak another word about it.
Oh, I was looking forward to getting everyone together.
Sort of thing happens. People get busy sometimes. It's no big deal.
I guess. I wonder what we should do now.
Guess it'll just be the two of us together today again. Because of the exams, we've been spending quite a lot of time alone together lately. Doesn't bother me, but a little voice in the back of my head keeps telling me to panic whenever the two of us are alone in a room. And June hasn't been shy about touching me or leaning against me either. I mean, I guess I did start it, but when he does it, I feel self-conscious. Although I'm pretty sure I like the attention.
What do you think we should do? Should we just go out to eat and call it a day?
I suppose. Besides, we didn't have any plans either, and it's hard to think of stuff to do at the last moment.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Just then, I spot a few familiar faces leaving the school building altogether. Oh, fuck me! The whole mid-card? Oh, God! All the side characters standing in a row. Oh, fuck. Most of our classmates show up, all of them walking side by side and chatting with each other. How convenient. And, wait, is that Sorakun with them? What's he doing here?
Oh, hey there. I see you guys survived Hell Week.
Yep, I'm surprised all you people did. All you of all people did.
What's that supposed to mean?
Exactly what I said. Anyway, what's up? We're all going out together to celebrate being done with midterms.
Wait, but Sorakun, what are you doing with my classmates?
The panda rubs the back of his neck, laughing nervously. It just kind of worked out this way, I guess. Oh! I forgot about this. Well, now that I've actually met the person attached to this voice, it's a little fucking weird. Especially since they weren't even really supposed to have much of an accent. But, okay, I'm not gonna fucking lie. I really enjoy doing the weird fucking accent I gave this guy. And I don't want to stop doing it. And it doesn't really matter at this point anyway. So, I'm gonna fucking do it. And so there you go. And let's go.
We started chatting every now and then after we met when we went to see you at the hospital.
Sora nods, smiling. Yeah, so he invited me to go out with everyone. I don't really know many people in my own class, so I thought it would be nice to go out.
Oh, I see. Thank you for that.
Fox smiles and nods, sticking his chest out with pride. Huh. I'm surprised you can even talk to them. When I first met you, you were a stuttering mess. Panda's eyes go wide for a second. It blinks rapidly a few times as his brain tries to process. That's not... You guys want to join us too? Gin quickly cuts into the conversation, a forced smile on his face. Okay. Well, we were talking about going out together too, but the rest of our group was too busy, so we weren't sure what we would do together. That's perfect then. We were going out downtown. Jean wanted to go try karting, but we were going to stop up for food on the way.
Karting?
At the simple mention of karting, June's eyes immediately light up, and I know then that we were going to go along with them. Okay, sounds like a plan. we can get behind on, right, June?
Yeah!
He nods excitedly, laughing. Somehow, he already seems much livelier than before. Although with June, it isn't exactly a challenge either. Although I have to ask, how'd you guys get him of all people to tag along? I gesture to Kumagawa with my head, and everyone follows my gaze right back to him. The bear, however, doesn't take his eyes from his console for even a single second and doesn't notice our stares.
Honestly, I'm just as shocked as you are.
We need to justify his sprite. Let's go. Jean shrugs, deciding that the thought doesn't really merit any thinking about. Victor invited him and he came along.
Yeah, that was actually a little surprise too, but he said yes anyway. Hey, Ryoji-san!
Oh, God. At the mention of his name, the bear finally looks up and notices us staring at him. He raises an eyebrow and looks confused for a second. Yes? I don't mean to offend, but what are you doing here? You're one of the last people I'd imagine tagging along. They said they were going downtown, and I thought it was a good chance to swing by my favorite store to pick up the new game that had just come out. Ah. I guess that's the reason to tag along. I knew a big video game nerd like you wouldn't go out into the wild with of his own volition, especially given the risk you might burst into flame on contact with the sun. A few snickers within the group as the bear goes back to playing his game. Although I suppose karting might be fun too. Wait, you're interested in doing something fun? In real life?
Hey, Rutherfordson, I think you're making too big a deal out of this.
Don't give me that look, you were just as shocked as I was. I didn't know you had an interest in karting, Ryoji-kun. Bear shrugs. It'd be like real-life version of a video game. Oh, I see now. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm sorry, but if we were firing cannonballs and missiles at each other while karting, then it'd be my cue for retiring from the race.
I think it could be fun.
Surely you're kidding. I wonder if banana peels would actually be able to make a cart slip.
How about we buy some before we go and give it a try?
We're gonna get kicked out of the venue, aren't we? Littering aside, bananas can be a pretty good snack before these kinds of activities. They don't weigh on your stomach and they'll fill you with energy. They're pretty healthy. Healthy, huh? Didn't know you had interest in that sort of thing. Ooh! Geen stutters, looking at me with pursed lips and a frown. Almost seems confused. Eventually stammers out an actual response, sighing. We should probably just get... Yeah, we've been a dick. We're just being a dick. The guys are like, hey, we're gonna go have fun. You wanna tag along? And we're like, hey, you were a stuttering mess. You're an idiot. You're you're just hiding in your house all the time with the video games. You're fat. Like, what the fuck? Why are we a dick so much? That might be... Okay, so here's my thought on this. When Rutherford is with other people, he basically that's their group dynamic. That's how they talk. But when you take one group dynamic and you go into another group that doesn't have that dynamic, you can come across like a dick, like Rutherford is doing right now. Sometime later, we all head out to a small coffee shop downtown for a quick eat. Staff has to merge two tables together to accommodate our little menagerie. Because of the day and time we got here, we had to wait a while before they finally got tables for us, but the whole process was overall pretty painless. I don't know how you do a thumbnail with this, but good luck. And there's one thing I've always wondered. What's the difference between a coffee shop and a cafe?
How much they want to charge you?
I doubt it could be just that.
Maybe how fancy the environment is? I mean, this place is nice and all, but it's not like the cafe I went with you before, Rutherfordson.
It's probably the same as the difference between a diner and a restaurant. I'm pretty sure there are differences other than the price tag and how fancy the place is.
Oh yeah? Name one.
I don't know. I'm not an expert on the subject. All I know is I've been to some really fancy diners and some really rundown restaurants, so I don't think that applies. That's a good point. Maybe we could ask a waiter what the difference is. Sure. Just call him over and ask, hey, why isn't your establishment called a cafe? Are you guys not fancy enough? I'm sure that'd go swimmingly. I didn't say you had to phrase it like that.
So, Raccoon, he's just messing with you. What are you guys gonna order anyway? I wouldn't recommend getting anything too heavy. Wouldn't want to get sick on the carts. But if you do, you could serve as a stand-in for a banana peel.
Ew, gross.
What do they have on the menu anyway?
Probably just some basic coffee shop stuff. Some sandwiches, a few baked goods, and some drinks.
Depending on how many variations of those things they had, the menu could still end up being pretty big, though.
That's true. You could just look at the huge menu when they seem to out behind the counter instead of asking yourselves that.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Evidently. Behind the counter is a huge blackboard with a bunch of different options and prices written down in faded white chalk. I guess the chalk was so faded that we couldn't make out if it was actual writing until we were seated. Wow, they're really old school. They still have chalkboard menus. I think the word you're looking for is outdated. They could just go with a simple laminated menu instead. It's much simpler and probably allergy-free.
Can you even be allergic to chalk? Wouldn't surprise me. Some people are allergic to dust.
Or pollen.
I knew a guy that was allergic to his own fur. Ouch, that's gotta be terrible.
What a miserable little life that guy must have lived. Some people are allergic to water too. That must suck a lot too.
Sure, but imagine being allergic to yourself.
How about being allergic to dirt and water at the same time? Then you have reactions whenever you're dirty but can't shower because you're allergic to water.
I don't even want to imagine that. I'd probably go insane.
I like taking baths way too much to begin with. I'd be very sad if I couldn't.
These people must need really strong coping mechanisms and support groups to get through life like that.
There's a silent agreement on our table as everyone nods along.
Is anyone here even allergic to something? Nichan and I are both lactose intolerant, but I don't know if that counts as an allergy.
Lactose allergy is basically the more gung-ho version of lactose intolerance. I'm lactose intolerant too. Lactose intolerance is actually a really prevalent thing in most of Asia. Yeah, it's pretty easy to find people who suffer from it.
In that sense, I guess I kinda lucked out. European genes over here. I get it, 'cause he's from France.
Everyone in my family's pretty healthy. We don't have any allergies, I think.
I'm allergic to some types of medication. Heparin, benzapril, aspirin. There's some others, but I can't remember the top of my head.
To the Google! To the Google! I obviously know aspirin. I know that is just a painkiller, but what the fuck do those other ones treat? Heparin, also known as unfractionated heparin, is a medication and naturally occurring glycosaminoglycan. The medication is used as an anticoagulant. Basically used as the treatment of heart attacks, an unstable angina. It can be given by injection into a vein or under the skin. Okay. I had a feeling. Let's see. Benzapril. Treat high blood pressure. A thing treating heart attacks, high blood pressure, pain pills. Oh, Lord. Oh, God, I'm worried about a boy. I have no idea what half of that stuff is. I don't even know that stuff. Don't you have to be given medicine to find out if you're allergic to it?
Sorta. The doctors test you for that stuff, too.
I stare at him with a raised eyebrow, feeling very suspicious all of a sudden. Yeah, me too. Tiger immediately shrinks on his seat, looking away from me at the menu on the wall.
Hey, did you guys decide what you want to go to order? I think I'm gonna get a tuna sandwich and some juice.
Play, I can't stand the most seafood.
Dude, then I think you came to the wrong country.
The meats are also really easy to find in Japan.
Only 'cause it's imported from the outside.
That's true. Japan doesn't have much land to raise livestock. I think I'll order a bagel.
Are those pizza squares? Those are a thing in Japan.
His voice is getting more fucked up. Like, as I do it, it's getting worse. Didn't know that was possible.
I think they're a thing in most of the world.
Just like that, the conversation switches back to food once more. This is really riveting stuff, I gotta say. However, June continues to avoid my gaze, and I don't feel comfortable asking him questions like that in public, especially when it looks so desperate to avoid the subject. We're carting along. I really am scared for June. After we finished with lunch, we all head right to the karting venue Jean mentioned. The place is surprisingly big. There are multiple tracks inside, and apparently people can race in groups of 8. Well, there's 7 of us, which means since there are 7 of us, at least one racer on our track would have to be some random person. The place looks pretty busy. Probably since it's Friday and classes are done for the day in most schools.
Wow, I've never been to a place like this before. It's so huge.
Actually, surprisingly, neither have I.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. I come here every now and then when I want to have some fun. It feels good to crush the newbies.
What he means by that is he spends most of his allowance here.
Hey!
Smaller Mouse glares at his older brother, who seems as calm, as serene as he always does. He also likes to go to the baseball batting cages down the street.
Ooh, that'd be a good idea too. We should go there after we're done here. I've never been to one of those. What are they like?
You get a baseball bat and a helmet, get inside a cage, and a robot shoots balls at you that you can bat. June's eyes immediately shine, and I can already tell that we're going to have to go there as well.
A robot? Well, that's so cool. I want to go see the robot.
But no, I don't mean a robot. Just you know what? Forget it. We'll go there right after we're done with the cards, if no one else has any objections. None here! Yeah, I'm fine with that, apparently. I wonder if they have some place around here where you can play ice hockey.
I've never seen any. Wouldn't you need a team to play that anyway?
You need a team to play baseball, and yet you have batting cages anyway.
Oh, right. I guess that's true.
Anyway, are we going to join the line, or are we just going to stand around here gawking at the place?
The line doesn't look too big. I don't think it'll take too long.
Luckily, the line is moving somewhat fast, just like June mentioned. Apparently, each person pays for a number of laps here. Each one racer finishes running 5 laps, and they have to drive to the exit, and a new set of racers enters after everyone has finished theirs. Which means the one who wins the race is also the one that gets to drive the least amount of time.
I didn't even look at the prices. How much is it anyway?
I can treat you if you want.
No, I'm fine paying with for myself. You already treated me to food, Rutherford-san. I don't want to mooch.
It's not mooching if I enjoy doing it.
I have very different definitions of the word.
It's 500 for 5 laps.
That's not too bad.
That's really not bad. $1 a lap? That ain't shit. Does that even cover the cost of running the place? Bear shrugs, either not knowing the answer to my question or not being bothered enough to give it.
How about we go multiple times? Say like 15 laps.
Wow, someone's greedy.
I can't help it. It just looks like so much fun.
Just make sure you don't bleed your wallet dry in the process.
It's only 500. I'll be fine.
Yes, it's only 500. You've done once. If you keep doing it over and over again, it'll stack up. That's my problem with Grubhub. Still, I quietly sigh and just decide to let that go for now. No sense trying to talk sense into them.
How fast can these go anyway?
I don't know. You'll have to ask the clerk when it's our turn. Though it probably doesn't go very fast, given kids are allowed to drive these.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, they're not very fast. They definitely look faster than they feel, which is a real bummer.
I'm glad that they're not that fast. You can already lose control half the time as is.
You didn't have to tell him that. It's not like people wouldn't figure it out once you started crashing into us. I don't crash. Really? Then what do you call it? Bulldozing?
Your attempt to make it sound less lame only makes you sound even lamer.
Screw you, I'm not lame. You're not gonna tear me down.
Honey, you're already doing that to yourself way better than I could ever hope to. If you hear whistles and my response to the younger mouse stares at me with a murderous temper tantrum.
I never thought you don't have to be so mean.
How am I mean?
Mario, I'm convinced you don't even notice half of the stuff that comes out of your mouth.
What? I'm not mean, am I?
Maybe not mean, maybe abrasive would be a better term.
Abrasive? I'm surprised you know that word.
There it is! That's what I'm talking about.
Damn, he looks mad. Huh?
You say that kind of thing all the time without even caring how insulting it can come out.
I do.
Some days more than others.
I think you've insulted every one of us at least once today. Some more than others. Oof. Gene frowns, shooting me daggers with his eyes and crossing his arms. I didn't...
It's easy to forgive because we know you don't mean it, but sometimes when you're just trying to make a joke and can get annoying every once in a while.
That's putting it mildly. I mean, I don't personally mind it that much. I think it's normal for good friends to insult each other. Not everyone is that same way, though. Some people don't like that sort of thing. People especially don't want someone following them around, basically acting like a mirror to constantly point out and reminding them of their flaws. But I didn't. Gene places his hand on my shoulder and gives me a gentle squeeze, smiling mournfully at me.
Just dial it down for a bit, okay? Most of the time you're okay, but it's like you've dialed it up to 11 today.
Does everyone think the same?
The only one who didn't speak up about it is Ryoji, but then again, I'm convinced he's not even listening to our conversation. Watch.
Jin taps the brown bear's shoulder a few times and calls out his name.
Yo, Ryoji!
Bear sluggishly looks up, but his eyes quickly scanning around him and looking at each of us. What?
What's your take on it?
My take on what? The younger mouse makes a gesture with his hand, pointing at the bear with a smug smile on his face. See? Kamigawa frowns, staring at Jean with confusion.
Never mind. You can go back to playing your game, we'll let you know when it's our turn.
What are you even playing? Must be really good for you to be this distracted. Dragon Rush Saga 30 fucking 4. Bandit frowns. The what? I've never even heard about it. It's an obscure gaming series from a mobile game development company. It's pretty terrible. Then, why are you playing it? The romanceable girls are cute. Sora stares at the older bear with a look I can't quite identify. It might be disgust, or he might just be constipated. Who knows? It's probably disgust, though.
I think he's played more bad games than I've played games in general.
Pretty easy to do when you have no life other than playing games. Bro! Dude! Why is he being such a dick today? Well, let's see the backlash. Immediately get a bunch of blank stares pointed right at me, and the awkwardness comes flooding in really quickly. I'll shut up. Damn, man. It's one of those moments where if I was in that situation, I'd probably fucking run crying from the scene and just screaming apologies and be so depressed. Once our turn in line finally comes, we're each given a cart, and the venue employees help us get strapped in properly to our seats. Half of me is surprised Geen managed to fit inside his cart, but after the awkward conversation we had 20 minutes ago, I don't dare voice those thoughts. I'll just ignore the little voice inside my head telling me to crack jokes at the things I see. He ended up being given a purple-colored cart with a number 7 stamped in white on the front of it. All things being considered, I don't mind the look of it. I would definitely have preferred the red cart, though, but, well, I didn't really get to choose. June was given a green card with a number 4 on it, and made a passing comment on how he wished he'd gotten the orange one instead. The employees went over basic instruction. Taught us how to accelerate, brake, how to do curves, and general knowledge. They were very thorough with their explanations, too, because it took about almost 5 minutes for them to finish. On top of the starting line is a big LED screen that does a countdown to take off. My eyes were glued to the thing as soon as it beeped for the first time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As soon as it rang with the final beep, all engines were revved up to the max and the race started. The whole race is comprised of a small circuit with a few twists and curves mixed in. Nothing too scary. Definitely no video game level tracks where we have to make crazy jumps over ramps and whatnot. That'd just be begging for a lawsuit. On the very first curve, the first thing I noticed is Gene accelerating even more when we were clearly told to slow down for the curves. He tries to go for a drift, but ends up spinning out of control instead. Sometimes the tracks are surrounded by a bunch of foam blocks chained together into a single bendable piece. Once he crashes, the wall sort of deforms around his cart to absorb the impact. Probably not a bad idea. Adding some sort of cushioning to the track will keep people from getting hurt. God forbid the walls were made of car tires stacked on top of each other instead. As soon as you hit them, they might all collapse on top of you, and I shudder to think of the damage. Having never gone karting before, I'm being extra careful to avoid a fate like Gene's, so I'm going a bit on the slow side. Meanwhile, Geen is right ahead of me, and being another careful, if slightly more experienced driver, Victor and Sora are both speeding ahead and trying to just straight up win without caring about crashing, though they're still noticeably more careful than Gene. Kamigawa and June are both at the very back, going super turtly and just, I don't know, enjoying the scenic view. Frankly, I don't see the point of driving if you're gonna go that slow. Then there's the random person that's also on the track with us. He's currently right behind me and doesn't seem to be making much of an effort to pass me by. I have to say the feeling of the wind in my face and having my fur and clothes flutter against it is really nice. Didn't know going this fast could be so much fun. Maybe I could try going a little faster? I've saved so we can hedge in case this goes poorly. Let's accelerate. I step foot on the gas pedal and decide to ramp up my speed a little. Hey! I briefly hear Geen's voice as my vehicle goes past. I'm going to begin to gain on him. Victor and Sora are both really far ahead by now, and I'm not sure I can gain on them before the end of this lap at least. I also don't want to do what Gene did and end up crashing because he's now dead last thanks to that. Behind me I hear the sound of motors revving up even more, and with a quickly glance behind I see that those on the back decided to accelerate in response to my sudden burst of speed. Geen is right on my tail with Kamigawa and June right behind him. The 8 driver seems content to just keep pace and lets everyone else pass him by without a care, probably thinking it's not worth it to risk going faster. But then again, he looks younger than us, so maybe he's just scared to go fast. We reach a curve and everyone slows down to keep from losing control. June manages to overtake both Kamigawa and Gene by doing a tight curve and rides right next to me.
Rutherford-san, I'm gonna beat you!
He steadily gains on me, going for the tightest possible curves every time. By the time we finish our third lap, June is pressed right against me, and I'm at the risk of being left behind. I don't think I can get past the other two currently contending for 4th place. Beating June is the difference between a podium finish and 4th place. Even though there isn't really a podium here. It's really close to me, so Maybe if I cut him off on one of the curves, I might force him to slow down. Oh, no, 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 man. Damn it, no, don't do it. Even though the daredevil inside me wants to do it, it could be dangerous. June doesn't react fast enough, he could crash onto me, and that could be pretty ugly. I don't want to risk our safety for a silly race. We go through the curve as I expected. June once again makes it as tightly as possible, managing to pass me by. He lifts an arm out of his cart and waves at me. Bye-bye! He accelerates further and manages to gain a sizable lead over me despite being among the latest racers at the start. By the time we reached the finish line, June solidly placed himself in third place, getting really close to passing by Victor for second. We all step out of the course, chatting excitedly amongst ourselves.
That was really fun.
You're just being smug because you finished third.
What? Of course not. I was having fun even when I was in last place.
Besides, what kind of loser feels smug over third place? Pfft. Says the loser who finished in last.
Hey!
So much for your talks of having so much experience.
I never said I was sure to win just because of that.
No, you just said something about how you love to crush the newbies. Talk about instant karma.
Jeez, will you guys lay off me for a second?
We only put you down when you get full of yourself.
Don't you guys just complain about Rutherford's son doing that?
I'm your brother, I'm allowed.
The fuck?
Wow. This game doesn't swear very often, so when it comes up, it's just like, oh, hello. The whole group chuckles at the muscular mouse getting all pouty over some silly teasing. I want to keep my mouth shut as much as possible since I don't want to risk getting in trouble again. I really don't want to get told over twice in one day. Should we go again?
I'm up for it. It was really fun. Yeah, I want to go again too.
I guess I have nothing against either.
You could try to sound a bit more excited about it.
At least I said something. Why don't you get on Kamigawa's case? He's distracted by playing games again.
Nah, not close enough to him to do that.
Damn, I feel so loved. June's tail brushes up against mine for a split second. It was quickly enough that it might look like an accident, but given what I now know, and the look on his face, I could 100% say it was deliberate.
Alright, it's decided then. Let's get back in line, and this time I'm not getting last place again.
If I were you, I'd aim for not crashing instead.
That much is implied!
A few more motherfucking hours later. Few more motherfucking hours later. Few more motherfucking hours later. When did this game ever fucking go? Gobba-da, bobba-da, bobba-do, bobba-da. By the time we reached the baseball cage, the sun had already begun to set. The orange light paints the sky above us and covers the streets with a bright blinding glow. To my amusement, I noticed that June's fur somehow gets even more bright orange under the direct light of the setting sun.
Oh wow, this place is a lot more empty than I thought.
Thank God for that. Could you let go of my arm, please?
Alright.
His face had gotten much busier by the time we left the karting venue, as most people were starting to leave work. June had a small freak out in the middle of the crowd, like he usually does. At least he's getting kind of better at those. He didn't go incoherent or catatonic or anything. He just gripped my wrist really tight and whispered to me that he wanted to go somewhere quieter. So at least he still made sense, even if his grip was just as crushing.
I haven't come here in a while. I guess not many people come by this late.
It's not even that late. The place just still stays open for 3 more hours.
Have you been here before? How do you know that?
There's a huge sign on the wall right there showing hours. June sheepishly looks at the direction I was pointing, reading the sign.
Oh.
How do you use these?
You go up to the counter, you pay the token. Each token is good for 10 shots. Then, you walk up to the empty cage, you place the token inside the machine, and then it opens the door for you.
They're big enough to hold 2 people inside, but the workers really don't like it when you do that, so I wouldn't recommend it. Of course they don't like. period. They're that big so you have room to swing, not so you can have a guest. They don't want to get sued when someone gets hit over the head with a baseball bat. Hit over the head with a baseball bat. Hit over head, hit over head, hit over head with a baseball bat. Amusingly enough, that happened once.
Yeah, and whose fault is that?
Not mine, I wasn't swinging the bat.
I told you to duck.
Duck where? With what space? To begin to bicker, raising their voices at each other and arguing in circles. This is why I'm glad I'm an only child.
This is why I wish I were an only child.
This is why you don't bring another person with you into the cage.
Especially when the one swinging the bat is a huge man-child. I heard that! Oh, sorry.
Damn. I calmly leave the circus clowns behind and walk up to the front desk. Excuse me, I want to buy 3 tokens. Clerk nods and we run to the transaction very smoothly. The twins are still bickering among themselves while the others watch. Make my way to a cage and quickly slip inside. They have helmets and bats in a small rack at a corner ready for players to choose which one they want to use. After that, you just need to get in position and hit a button for it to start. It's only after an echo of my first bat that I hear someone reacting.
Ah, Rutherford, son, no fair!
June cries out and runs up to my cage.
It's just mean leaving us behind like that.
I wasn't just going to wait for those two to stop fighting. Once the machine gets started, it keeps spitting out balls until your turn is over at regular intervals, so I can't let myself get very distracted. You should probably get a token too if you want to play.
Fine. I'll get you back for this later.
I'll be waiting. June runs to the front desk with just as much urgency as he ran towards me. At least he seems excited. Hopefully I'll have a good time. Keep batting for a few minutes until my first 10 balls end. I could use the rest of my tokens right now, but I decided to check up on June since I know he's never done this kind of thing before. When I get to his cage, I see him wearing a helmet that is clearly too big for his head, swinging and failing to make contact with the ball. How many was that?
Hey, you surprised me!
I just talked to you. You did the same thing to me when I got started and you didn't hear me complaining.
I haven't hit a single ball yet.
Your form isn't very good. Bend your knees a little more.
Like this?
Yeah, that's good enough. Now, when you start your swing, focus on using your hips more than your shoulders. You're barely using your hips at all right now. Oh, God. Are we gonna get a fucking Happy Gilmore? It's all in the hips. Yeah, I know it's baseball, but there was a batting cage in the movie, and it's a good excuse to get behind someone and fucking grind on them without acting like it's on purpose. A ball flies at June, he swings once again. It barely makes contact with the bottom edge of his bat, flying nearly straight down to the floor, but hey, contact is contact.
I did it!
Good job, you're getting the hang of it. How many balls do you have left?
That was the last one.
Yeah, I'll put another token in for you. Keep going.
What? I can just go buy another one.
You're doing well right now. If you take a break now, you might lose focus. Just trust me on this.
Alright.
I continue giving him pointers on how to properly swing and how to improve his form. I end up using both of my remaining tokens on this, mostly because I'm just having a lot of fun watching him try his best. June listens to me diligently, and by the end of the third token, can already hit most of the balls semi-decently. Well, here we go again. After we said our goodbyes to the rest of the group, June and I began to walk home together. The sun has already fully gone down by this point, and the streets of our neighborhood are pretty deserted. Then again, most workers have already gotten home by now, and this is a pretty quiet neighborhood to start with.
My whole body is sore.
Yeah, swinging a baseball bat for a while takes it out of you.
I really wonder why Shuichi-san and Mizuguchi-san couldn't come with us, though.
I don't know either. They haven't said anything else to me all day. I tried messaging both of them to ask if something was going on, but I got no answer other than them declining to go with us. I admit it's got me a bit worried.
Hopefully there's nothing bad happening, and we'll all be able to get together again on Monday.
Don't forget the club activities will start over again next week, so you will all have practice again.
Oh, right. You think we could go out together on the weekend then?
I can try asking, but I don't know if they'll come.
I'd appreciate if you did anyway.
Sure, I'll let you know if they answer me.
If they say no, how about you just come over to my place? You wanted to watch me play piano again, right?
Ah, I forgot I said that.
I'd be happy to put together a little show for you. We could go out or do whatever it is you want.
She's tail brushes up against my backside, quickly touching the back of my thighs and rustling against my own tail. I feel a bit embarrassed by the touch, but I don't mind it. I'm starting to warm up to it, I think. We reach the front gate of his house, signaling the end of our little adventure through the neighborhood. We both stop looking at the lights of the house for a few seconds before speaking again. Alright, here we are. I've delivered you safe and sound.
Thank you. I'll talk to you later, okay?
Of course. I watched June unlock his house and step inside. As the doors closed behind him, I began to walk away myself. And that's it for that day. We got another day. There's always another day. Oh. I guess we're back in class. We're not gonna see the show. Wait a minute, was it? Yeah, it's Monday. We didn't get to experience the little piano show. Well, that's a bummer and a half. Alright, so that will go ahead and end this episode of Tennis Ace. On the next one, we will be seeing what Day 24 has to offer now that we're back in the swing of things. The festival week is done. The test week is done. So now we're back. We're back and better than ever. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I've been the training professional. I think I need to go to bed. I want to keep playing, but there's always tomorrow. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I've been the training professional. You're not. And I will see you next time. Bye, everyone. Bye.